Hi everyone, this is Rochelle from Verde, and I am here in my home garden, and I just wanted to do a follow-up on the fava beans. And so as you can see, the plants have gotten quite large and they've started to bloom. And so I don't have any pods yet, but this is the time, or actually maybe a little bit past time, because they are a little bit tall, but right about this time where I'm going to go ahead and cut them back and then turn them over into the soil. Most of my bed has been cleared out. I still have a few lettuce that are going to seed, and then my nasturtium I'll probably trim back a little bit. But the rest of it was bok choy, it was broccoli, it was cabbage, and that's all gone from my winter harvest. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut your plant into smaller chunks, and the reason you want to do this is so that it's just easier for the soil to break down into smaller pieces. You can see I also left some of my roots from the bok choy plants, and that's just going to help add nutrients to the soil as it decomposes. All of these plants, you know, they have beneficial nutrients, and in particular the plants in the legume family, so like your beans or these fava bean plants that I'm working on right here. These are very high in nitrogen. They're called a nitrogen fixing plant, and so they're always going to add more nitrogen to the soil than they take out, and so they're an excellent cover crop, and that's why we plant them in the fall, so that we can replenish the soil. So what I'm going to do next with these fallen pieces is I'm going to kind of move the soil aside few inches deep, and then I'm just going to cover them, and I'll do this on kind of a bigger scale with my garden rake and shovel, but I just wanted to show you like on a small scale what we do. So just a few inches below the level of the bed, you're going to put the leaves, and then you're just going to recover it with soil. I had some hay, but it looks like that's also breaking down, which is great. So I might add a little compost on top, or a little bit of hay. And then what that's going to do, I still have, let's see, it's the beginning of March. I don't plan to put most of my stuff in the ground until April. So it still has a good month to break down, and as I water it, that will help the process and then replenish the nitrogen that the plants had taken out when they were growing from the fall harvest. So I hope that that was a helpful, brief little tutorial. So basically when the plant starts flowering, but maybe not all the flowers have bloomed yet, so you can kind of, let me zoom in here, so you can kind of see they haven't all started blooming, but they've started, and so that's the time you're going to want to cut it back, turn it under the soil, and give it some time to decompose and add those beneficial nutrients back into the soil. So I'm over here on the other end of my garden, and I actually had put some of my fava bean clippings under the soil on this side maybe a week or two ago, when I had thought of it, and I just was curious to check on it and share with you the stage of decomposition. And so as I move back some of this, you can see there's still a stem that's left, but the leaves are mostly decomposed, and so I know that this is working to add nitrogen to this part of the soil. So I'm just going to go back and recover those and make sure that they continue to add nitrogen to where this was where I had my cabbage, and there was a beautiful graffiti cauliflower, which is purple, that was growing here, and those plants take a lot of nutrients out of the soil, so it's really important that we plant things like beans and peas to replenish the nitrogen naturally without having to use, you know, artificial fertilizers. So nature has a good way of working together to replenish its needs. We just have to know what to plant when. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching.